All right, how we doing, friends? Welcome to a Monday edition of Flames Nation Live, our first after the season, our first off-season edition of the program. It's Pat Steinberg from Sportsnet 960. The Fan just finished up Flames talk, getting ready for Game 7, New York, Carolina. We got a little bit of a window, so thought, well, let's do one right now before Game 7, after the show, live here at our Sportsnet 960 downtown studios. Flames talk's always available for you wherever you get your podcasts. Lots that we got into on the latest edition of Flames Talk on this Monday. Who do we have with us? Josh first in, Gaurav in as well, Denise, Josh, Corey, and Ron all with us on the latest edition of Flames Nation Live. Get your comments in, get your questions in on the live chat on Facebook. Benny's in as well. Whatever questions or comments you want to get in. Josh already says it was not a kick going back to Game 5 on Thursday night. So your comments, your questions, we'll get to them here as we move forward. Let's start by telling you that Flames Nation Live is brought to you, as always, by our friends at DoorDash, where you can download the app, create the account, and still use that promo code FNLiveDD. When you use that promo code, you are getting 25% off and free delivery on your first order. So go download the app, create the account, use the promo code. Flames Nation Live is brought to you by DoorDash. Well, I think the biggest story right now and the biggest story as we move along through the offseason is going to be the future of that man right there. Johnny Gadreau is just over 6 weeks away from being an unrestricted free agent. On Saturday, the Flames met the media and wrapped up their season. And Johnny Gadreau was one of the players who met with the media. Number of questions were asked about his future. I asked a question. Wes Gilbertson, Ryan Leslie, all kind of asking questions about the future of Johnny Gadreau. And I said, hey, what does the next 6 or 7 weeks look like for you, knowing that you have got a big-time decision coming your way?
Yeah, obviously, sit down with my agent this week sometime, and figure out what's best for me and my family, and obviously Calgary has a special place in my heart. I've been part of this organization for 11 years now, so ever since day one I got here, the fans, the organization, my teammates, even you guys. Sometimes when I'm playing bad, you guys give me a hard time, but that's all right. But everything about this city I love. And like I said, my wife loves it here. You guys can tell on Twitter. My uncle, my dad, my mom, my sisters, brother, everyone loves Calgary. And it's a special place in our heart, and we love it here, so we'll see what happens.
So that was Johnny Gadreau on Saturday, his final meeting with the media this season before going back to before going back home and before starting to get his off-season routine underway. He is just over 6 weeks away from being an unrestricted free agent for the first time if he decides he wants to go there. Here's where I am on Johnny Gadreau. If it's me, and reading the situation, knowing what I know about the situation, knowing who I've talked to, knowing just kind of all along, I firmly believe and take Johnny at face value right there. He has been saying those things about wanting to re-sign in Calgary going back to last offseason and the offseason before. So this is not a new thing. This is not brand new that Johnny Gadreau is interested in re-signing in Calgary. So in knowing that, I take him at face value. I firmly believe he is interested in, open to, wants to re-sign as a member of the Calgary Flames. But it has to come at the right number. I don't think he is going to give the Flames a hometown discount. The last contract he signed for 6 years at 6.75, it's a pretty good deal for the Flames. It ended up being an extremely team-friendly, sweetheart contract for the vast majority of the full 6 years he played on it. So knowing that, I don't think they're getting a hometown discount, and they shouldn't with the guy being so close to unrestricted free agency. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to resign. It's just going to take the Flames putting together by far the largest contract they've ever signed. Like the largest deal that the Flames have ever signed to date is Sean Monahan's 7-year deal at $6.375 per. That's the largest deal they've ever signed, between $42 and $45 million. Like we're talking about maybe doubling it or close to doubling it for Johnny Gadreau. But they have got for the next 6 weeks something that no other team has, and that is the ability to give Johnny an 8th year. And that ability to give him an 8th year is something that they need to use. And I believe that if you're Murray Edwards, the principal owner of the Calgary Flames, that guy is a multi-billionaire because he's a good businessman. And signing Johnny Gadreau to a max deal is good business. It's good for the on-ice product. It's good getting butts in seats. It's good for merchandise. It's good for jersey sales. It's good for TV ratings. It's good for advertising. Keeping Johnny Gadreau is good business. And that's why I think eventually Flames ownership and management is going to be willing to give him the type of money that will convince him to stay. And that is an 8-year deal, probably in double digits. And by using that 8th deal, you can make it very enticing for him to stay. And you do the math on what that 8th year means, right? If they go 8 times $10 million, that's $80 million. Good math, right? Well, for somebody to match that total dollars, Flames offer 10 per year, that gets him to 80. A team on the open market on a 7-year deal, which is the max that another team could sign him for, would have to give him 11.4. Like that's a significant gap. And I don't know if he's going to get 11.4 on the open market. Whereas 10 he could get, but if he gets 10 on the open market, that's 70. If he gets 10 in Calgary, that's 80. And it's 1 year's difference. Like that's a significant extra arrow in the quiver for the Calgary Flames. And so whether it's 10 or 10 and a half or $11 million, that 8th year is massive. So that's what I think the Flames are going to end up doing here, and that's going to end up, I think, being really significant for them when it's all said and done. Okay, this is Flames Nation Live. We're underway, and do want to remind you about the Calgary Flames keyboard. It's, I know we're all a little bummed that the Flames aren't still playing, but hey, it's soon time for off-season. In fact, it's time right now for off-season discussion. Go download the Flames social media hub, the Calgary Flames keyboard on Google Play and the App Store. Google Play on Android, App Store. If you're an Apple user, you get the emojis, you get the custom stuff. It's great for your group chats, it's great for your social media, and it's great for WhatsApp. Just go download the Calgary Flames keyboard. Easily to search. It's from our friends at Keymoji. Let's dive in on the live chat here, see what some of our friends are saying on Flames Nation Live. Corey says Yarncroke was a bust, should not re-sign. And I, if they're able to get him at a real cheap deal, like another $1 million cap hit, maybe. But yeah, I don't think that he is I don't think he's a great or he's a big-time priority for him. Ron says Johnny's great in the seasons, not the playoffs. Ron, I disagree. I think that Johnny had a great postseason by and large. I thought he was their best player in the Dallas series, wasn't as good in the Edmonton series, but had his moments, and that line wasn't as good. Like, it wasn't just Gadreau. I mean, I would say the vast majority of Calgary's top players didn't get the job done the same way in the Edmonton series. Hanifin, Anderson, Tkachuk, Lindholm, Gadreau is in that mix. Markstrom. That doesn't, to me, say that A, he's not a playoff player, or B, the Flames shouldn't re-sign him. Kelly says, what's the number, 11 million? I don't know. I think that you're probably talking about double digits. We'll see. My guess is the Flames in the $10.5 million range over 8 years could get something done, in my opinion. Josh says the team makes their money during the regular season, not the playoffs. Sign Johnny forever. And here's the one thing I would say about all of the playoff stuff. Would you rather take your chances with Johnny and seeing if he can continue to up his game in the playoffs like I think he did this year? Do you take your chances with that? or do you take your chances with letting him walk for nothing? And for me, it's an easy choice. You take the former every single time. You take your chances with Johnny in the playoffs as opposed to letting him walk. I think you're taking a way bigger risk if you let him walk for nothing. I really do. I do not see a situation where the Flames are better off by letting Johnny Gadreau walk. I really don't. This is Flames Nation Live. Back to the live chat in just a second. But, of course, the other big piece of business the Flames have got to take care of is signing that young man, as Matthew Tkachuk is a restricted free agent. He is 1 year away from being an unrestricted free agent and has a $9 million qualifying offer that could walk him right to free agency. He also was asked about whether or not he would be willing to sign long-term as a member of the Calgary Flames.
Absolutely. I've loved it here. I've grown up here. I think about it, I came here and I didn't know anything about Calgary. I didn't know anything about Western Canada. My mom's from Winnipeg, so I guess that's as far west as I knew, and kind of just fell in love with it here. And I think ever since the COVID shutdown, I was talking about this the other day with family, kind of like the more you realize, like, people being locked up forever, and now basically everybody you're seeing out more than normal, and how appreciative people are here of our team and how much passion they have for it. And that's something that we were lacking for those few years when we were pretty much shut down. And just kind of love the people here, and it's cool. Not only cool to go places and have people come up and talk about your sport and talk about what you mean to them and everything, but I don't know, just how happy that the team makes them feel, and how great they've made my life here, just the people in general. So, and I'm not just talking people with the team, and whether it's, trainers or, coaches, management, players, just people in the city, people that, live in my apartment or that I see, on any given day. So, to answer your question, I would maybe very.
So that was Matthew Tkachuk on Saturday as well. And when he says absolutely, I'd be open to signing long-term as a member of the Flames, I think that resonated with me. And he, maybe it doesn't happen this summer. Maybe he does go the qualifying offer, and maybe they negotiate during the season. But I look at the situation with Matthew very similar as I do with Johnny. The only difference is you have more options with Matthew. But I still look at it in the same way, in that, I guess a trade if it turns out that Matthew is not super interested in re-signing, but I don't know. In the end, are you better off trying to win a trade or just re-signing this guy that just had 104 points? I know that he was underwhelming in the playoffs, but I still think letting him walk for nothing is not the way to go. And I still think having him sign long-term is better for the team long-term. So let's a couple more on the live chat. Ron says Tkachuk should be the next captain, and you know what? If he ends up re-signing, maybe he is the next captain of this team. And Corey asks, do the Flames bring up Wolf to back up Markstrom next year? No, I don't think so. I think you're probably looking at the exact same goaltending tandem next year. Let Wolf continue to thrive in the American League. Let Wolf continue to develop, over-ripen that guy. You've got lots of time for Dustin Wolf to come into. He's 21 years old. Let him get more and more professional experience down there. You've got a great situation with Markstrom and Vladar for next year. I wouldn't be thinking about bringing Wolf into the fold at the NHL level for another couple of years, because why would you? You have team control on him. He needs more experience. He's been great and is an awesome prospect, but the more time that you let him develop in the American League, the better, if you ask me. Great stuff on the live chat, as always. Hey, we're not going anywhere. Flames Nation Live is sticking around. As always, brought to you by our friends at DoorDash. One more time, go download the app, create the account, and use the promo code FNLiveDD. Still going to try to do these twice a week during the offseason, at least in the hot parts of the offseason where there's still news, Johnny and Matthew, and signings and all that type of stuff. Be sure to tune into Flames Talk afternoons on Sportsnet 960 The Fan and wherever you get your podcasts. Have a great rest of your Monday. We will dive plenty into all of the offseason topics as our Flames Nation lives continue. You can always get them on Facebook, after the fact on Instagram and YouTube as well. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for your comments, and thanks for your questions. We're brought to you by DoorDash. Stay kind to one another. Be safe. Enjoy Game 7. Enjoy the third round of the playoffs, and we will talk to you soon. It's been another edition of Flames Nation Live. I'm Pat, brought to you by DoorDash.